Okay. Starting recording.
Welcome to the Helloha show. I'm your co-host Aubrey, also known as Scrap Princess.
And I'm Amanda, also going by the name of Antoinette.
And you may also hear her referred to as Doggy.
Oh, yes, sorry. Doggy as well sometimes.
So this is our very first episode of the Helloha show, and this is intended to give you essentially an outline of what you can expect to see in future episodes and really set the stage for the future.
It's so good already. I'm sure
I know,
everyone else
it's
is
fun.
cracking up. All right, so basically what we're going to do on these episodes is do a deep dive into basically our everyday life with some special guests. And we're going to bring attention and awareness to some of those topics that deserve the attention and are sometimes kind of avoided by people if we don't know how to bring it up or who to talk to. So we're just going to have some guests touch on some of those things that we think are really important.
So some of the things that you will hear that we have lined up for the next few, I would say the next, 3 to 4, 6 to 8 months. We have a lot of content lined up already. We already have several guests with contracts out that are signed. There is one celebrity. We won't name any names yet, so stay tuned. But we're also going to hit on some of the following topics. So let's see. What do we have?
We have a yoga episode.
We will also be doing a live Blogalotties episode where you might see us fall over faint because we won't have any idea what's in store for us, and I hear it's pretty painful.
Painful and a little exhausting, so that'll be live.
And we hope you will end up doing the workout with us.
Yes, that's the plan. We're also going to have an early 2000s workout set up.
So get your early 2000s workout gear ready. I would say order some now so you're prepared well in advance for whenever we have that episode drop.
The time is now.
We will also do a crash course on how to reupholster a chair, which you will be able to learn all of the tips and tricks that you need within 30 minutes.
That's quite fast. And I'm surprised you picked 30, but that's a good goal to get to. Another episode that we think is pretty important, and a lot of people are starting to see it without the stigma for mental health.
We'll also be doing an episode on, maybe even a couple, on grieving.
We are then going to switch gears a little bit and talk about our favorite beauty products.
And we're probably going to try a few on screen. And won't give it away, but our guest stars are really going to get the royal treatment pampering package, the ANA official beauty
package, the whole ordeal.
It's like FabFitFun box, but it's the ANA Extraordinaire Helloha experience. So we're also gonna do an episode on TJ Maxx haul. What did we get this month at TJ? And we will also be spotlighting some of those beauty products, essentially. What's good to buy there? What is the fake stuff?
Yeah, we're gonna do all the hard work. Not good enough. We're going to do something pretty fun, a tea sampling that will be interactive, at least for us, and hopefully it can extend to you guys as well.
Because all of these tea that we will be trying. We have contracts with them already, special promotions. You'll get 20% off of each time you buy a specialty that we feature on the show.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. We're going to talk about what our dream jobs are, and I guess what our jobs are. Like a little stuff. But we'll let you know what we really do for our 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And until we move to Hollywood.
Before that, yeah, we have to put the work in to get there first. We're going to do an episode that's all fun facts on us. And then the last one.
We're going to do an episode, probably one of our favorites, is going to be time in our new houses. Because A&A, both of us, just within the last year, / I'm not even in mine yet, but so it's going to be new home. We can even do like new home renovations before and after. I'm already getting newer ideas as we just talk about what's coming up, what we have in the pipeline. So I think at first we just kind of want to get the viewers out there to know kind of who are Aubrey and Amanda, how did they come about, and how did we get to where we are today in this episode for you. So
something first, although that will be the main topic, I just kind of wanted to address that, believe it or not, this is for us. We actually talked about how in the past we wish, like, God, I wish we had this conversation filmed just for memories or to laugh when you're having a rough day. And it has been made aware to us that some people or viewers may be in it for the wrong reasons, where they're being judgmental or having, inappropriate side conversations. So you can either laugh with us or you can laugh at us. It's fine. We're aware. It doesn't faze us. The choice is yours. We can come across as pretty like silly and giddy, but we're not dumb. So like I said, it doesn't faze us. So hopefully you're in it for the right reasons, and we would like to support you, and hopefully you can be supported back. But back to the main point that Aubrey is going to talk about, how we basically met and why we're here.
Right. So, needless to say, Amanda and I, it's funny, we're great friends now, but we really did have a rocky start. So we grew up in the same area code, both from the Johnstown, PA area. So we're both Varners. Both of our names start with A, and we grew up less than 5 minutes from each other. Amanda went to private Catholic school every year up until 9th grade, where I was born and raised in a public school. In the public school
system. You're born in a public school in the cafeteria.
So 9th grade rolls around. It's time for high school, and then so transitioning into a new school for the both of us, but it was with people that I've known my whole life growing up. Amanda then transfers into the public school system, and this is whenever our paths first collided.
Collided is a great way to explain it too.
Honestly. So the very first thing that I can remember about our interaction was we heard the name and we're like, who the heck is this other
A. Varner
in my grade? Like, who does she think she is?
I'm just coming over and taking over the town, her old stomping grounds. Right. I'm the new A. Varner to add the confusion in.
Didn't really, I would say, talk at all. There was like months of mystery. Who is this?
What she look like?
And I feel like some of the, like, you were starting to be friends with some of the more in crowd, or like at least we're like, okay, she's
right.
Right. I mean, yeah. So it all started, I guess, our first
I think.
actual interaction overlapping of the Avon, whatever happened, was we were in Mr. Yonko's world history class together.
Ninth grade.
Right, ninth grade. And she was like, I'm getting weird vibes. I guess but we don't, no words were said until one day after lunch. I guess we were in the same lunch block too.
Apparently, we didn't know though.
We're waiting outside of the lunchroom in between the theater auditorium. And I'm talking to some of my friends, and then up walks Amanda.
Amanda and Crystal. So Crystal was probably one of my first really close friends at Westmont, and public school is definitely stranger than what I was used to. I had like a class of 30 total, and then I go into this chaotic kids running up and down the halls screaming like, what is this? So naturally I end up with the friend who's a little bit more edgier. It was all chaos. So we had our lunch together after art with Norm and Ed. That's a fun fact. Or maybe it was after. Anyway, I knew her from a class we had. And I guess from our world history class, I was like, I finally met this Aubrey or Audrey or what, I don't even know, this A Varner. I don't know what to think of her. So naturally, when you're young and in high school, you're insecure, so you talk about people, but you grow out of that, right? So
most people do.
So we were huge into MySpace. So this dates it, gives you the right era. And we went up to Aubrey and was like, hey, let's get a picture of the two. I don't even remember the conversation, but I imagine it was like,
no, I remember. You're like, hey, can I get a picture with you? And I'm like, I remember giving eyes to who I was with. I think it was Haley and Kian. And I'm like, this can't be good. And I'm like, so she comes up to me, hey, can I get a picture? And she's wearing her, to paint the picture, which hopefully we can have with tech pulled it up on the
up
side
here maybe, or down
so
there.
Amanda would always wear a little beret or a
beret.
And then a striped shirt, and then some really dark eye makeup.
Too much, way too much.
Too much. Yeah, you look great now.
Yeah, all I got on is
but it's like, wow, natural beauty. We'll get into that, how it's not about what's on, like, anyways. So I'm like, and to paint the picture of what I was wearing was it was really the Lizzie McGuire inspired / Ashley Tisdale kind of like the short sleeve t-shirt, and then you would have the tank top over top of it. So you can see clearly two different personalities right off the bat.
It was basically the preppy, like, in style. Like, she was style. Oh, also had
very
layered
necklaces on.
Yes.
The longer ones.
Yeah. Yep. Everything was super trendy at the time for both sides of us.
For both parties.
Yeah. So we took the picture, and Crystal decided to post it on a bulletin on MySpace.
It was on your MySpace, because I remember the title of the bulletin was My Hero. So it would have been on behalf of Amanda.
Mine. Okay.
So, and it was,
I must have had it sent over from the digital camera.
Oh, those were the days.
They were.
So Amanda, I get home the same day of this picture being taken, and I click in Amanda's bulletin, My Hero, because then I don't think you could see exactly who viewed everything like you can now in the Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Wow, how far we've come.
And of course, I posted it the same day, now that I think, because like MySpace, you got to be quick. And
Right, or
I
it's old.
love the MySpace. So another name, Antoinette, Doggy, Amanda Propaganda, A Props. That was a pretty, I forgot about that.
That
That
was
people,
like a popular
oh,
phase for you.
yeah. Yeah, I love MySpace. Wish gone too soon. But um, yeah, so we took the picture. And then we didn't even like have any interaction really beyond that. Like we
Yeah.
still had a class, but like then that ended and we didn't see
Mhm.
each other for years, I
Yeah.
feel like.
Yeah. But I remember whenever I viewed that, I was like, are you kidding me? This little brat, I really don't like her now. Who does she think she is?
I don't know who I think I
Like,
am
what was
now.
that? And I was like, mm-mm. Yeah, so then basically there was no communication, just wasn't really, stayed
Not
away.
there. Hmm.
Flash forward to senior year. Maybe we grew up a little bit. Who's to
A
say?
little bit.
Amanda, want to take it away for a minute there?
So another thing to note is that my best friend from when I started ballet, and that's how I know her, she'll actually be a guest, and she's going to be talking about probably law.
And
So,
oh,
law.
and she actually also did our the Helloha official image.
Yes,
She was
yeah,
the
so
yes. So
artist. Yeah.
you can see she's quite
So,
the artist.
yes, very talented. She can
Thank
do
you, Slow.
anything. Thank you, Slow. So, I've known her since I was 4 or 5, and Aubrey actually knew her from baseball, right?
Yeah, our
Their
brothers played on the
brothers.
same baseball team, and
Yeah.
she and I were so bored all the time at the games that we were drug along to. I don't know. And then so our parents kind of introduced us, and then we became friends and hung out at all these games.
So
And I
I
think,
must have caught wind of this and been like, she's all right. She must be good. She's
mhm.
in a class now. Maybe I'll give her a chance.
So because of Cecilia's approval of each other, Amanda decided to take a chance on me.
Hmm.
Um,
So in Mama Donahue, I don't
and
know why we called her Mama Donahue.
me
Like she
neither.
was definitely not a motherly figure.
And I don't think she was a mother to anyone. Or
She
did she
probably
have?
didn't
I
know.
don't know. Mrs. So she was married. I don't. Anyways, we had this class, environmental science, together, and something happened. Our paths. We decided somehow we
Yeah.
started talking essentially. And then we were passing notes in environmental science together. And we also had, is this where Anastasia comes in? And this was like our first, because I remember in Mama Donahue, we were reading Scrap Princess like 12 Days of Christmas. I was reading one of them.
Government and economics is when Nastasia came. The same semester though.
Oh, okay. It was the
I
same
think it
semester.
was the same semester
That makes
for me.
sense. Mm-hmm.
But Nastasia, who hopefully we can get her on here.
Hey, Stasi.
Hey, Stas. She basically gave the name while we were writing back these notes, and we were doing like fake lyrics for popular
Right.
songs, but
We
changing
were,
them.
right. We were kind of wondering, like, oh, we're both like, we're finally, something's weird here. And
Hmm.
someone has someone that is something that I can joke around with that doesn't, that's
Weird
also
sense of
kind
humor.
of strange.
Hmm.
So then we decided, like, what's something that we can do together, produce together, some kind of project. So
Yeah.
we were in government and economics, taught by Mr. Glennon, who we really hope we can get you on an episode. It will be a dream of ours.
A
So
true
we hope you're
dream.
watching, and we can't wait for history to be made. So we were in the class talking to our friend Nastasia, and we're like, hey, what's a name I can give like to myself or to Aubrey for essentially like this rap
Artist.
project. Yeah, that we're working
We
on.
like to entertain, we like to be funny, and Stasi had a good sense of humor and recognized like these girls they're
Right.
not out to harm anyone. They're here for a good time. So she was just flat out blunt, and that's why I love her. So she's like, I don't know, you look kind of scrappy, and you're like, yes, scrap princess. I'm like, I'm pretty
And
sure
then you're
that's
like, I don't think
a
that
good
she meant
thing.
scrappy in a good way. And then, but we went with it. We rolled with it, and so then we started. Amanda is truly the wordsmith here for lyrics. She would write notes mostly, like almost once a day. You would be writing some new note of like, so it is a scrap, whatever rap we decided to. So these are all parodies mostly of songs.
Mm-hmm. Not totally creative, but
Right.
I made the realization last week, I think, when we were texting that we're like the girl version of Weird Al. Like,
Oh,
you know, it's stupid, but it's funny, and like, if you have a similar sense of humor, but like, we ate it up and busted out laughing all the time. So, after that class, and we got this like scrap princess persona established, I decided, like, all right, she's in with me. I'm gonna invite her over to the house after school one day. We took the bus home, I think. Yeah, we
we
didn't
did.
drive. Yeah. So we had the bus experience. We went home, uh, and an iconic moment went down. For some reason, it must have been because my dad, was home when we got home from school, so he must have been off work or something. But he made Kraft macaroni and cheese, and I don't know if
And
you
that
want
was
to
the
give your
best
side.
crab cheese I ever had in my life. I'm like, so I remember eating it, and I'm like,
Is it
is it
time?
tea time?
I think it is.
Yay! I wish it sounded louder. You
It's
have
pretty
that.
loud.
So this is what we did, and this is what we envision for the next each episode. I recently sent Amanda a care package in the mail, but I also with some different props and goodies for our next couple episodes.
Yep.
And matching notebook where we write down all of our ideas for the show. So, but one thing that I did put in the package that she wasn't able to see, that I had secretly sealed up and said to Dan, which is her boyfriend, it was a bunch of different samples of tea. So what our intent is I called Dan before we started filming this episode. He boiled some hot water on the tea kettle, and I said, put tea bag in,
Tea bag.
yes. And also put a little honey in, and then we're going to do a little experiment. Amanda is going to really, just so we can see for those tea connoisseurs out there, and what our taste buds, like what is speaking to you in this tea, and was it labeled and named appropriately, and just your thoughts on the tea. And then I'm going to reveal exactly what the tea is, and we'll see. Let's see.
Is it accurate?
Yeah.
Well, this one, like she said, this is experiment one. So I'm closing my eyes for the real blind test here. It's pretty much all gone, so that's a good review because I'm drinking it.
I thought this was your first sip.
Huh?
I thought this was your first sip.
Sorry. So, joke's on you or me, but it reminds me of I can't remember the brand, but it's like the raspberry zinger. It tastes definitely like raspberry or something like that. It's sweet. I normally have my tea bag in it like the entire time, but I wanted it to look a little more polished for the viewers.
Well, I guess, yeah, it wouldn't have the flavor of it on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the bag. Well, sometimes they do.
Right.
So
yeah. Thank goodness
that's not
it
there.
wasn't. Good call, Dan, though, for taking
Removing it. Mm-hmm. So was I close?
Did you miss it on the quote?
What?
You know how this bag or this brand specifically always has, I know a lot of them do like different quotes.
Oh, like the Yogi does.
Mm-hmm.
I love
Mine is "There's pleasure in the pathless woods" by Lord Byron. Wonder what yours is.
Speaking of quotes, I want to backtrack a little bit here. I wrote it down because it was that, like, we were talking about it, it resonated with us a lot. Resonate. Anyway, so let's find it here. All right. The faker you are, the bigger your circle will be. The realer you are, the smaller your circle will be. These are well-known facts. And I mean, I feel like as you get older, you kind of just realize like, oh, I'm not talking and hanging out with all these people, but it's so true. So we're like, we gotta bring that up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's basically it. We can tie it into what we said earlier. You can connect the dots because we're all smart here. We're not dumb.
Right.
Anyway,
essentially, we were gonna mention that earlier. We just
the moment took us
away. Got too caught up in the moment.
Yeah.
So
what kind of tea was I right?
Anything else you want to say about the tea? Well, what would you rate it on a scale of what, 1 to 5, 1 to 10? You choose.
I'll do 1 to 5, and I'll give it a 3.5.
Okay.
Because a lot of the teas are like, they'll get like black teas, you can tell are dry when it's colder. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this definitely cooled down and it's still pretty good. Like it's juicy.
Right.
So it's got to be a berry. Is it raspberry?
It is. Drum roll, please. So it is Traditional Medicinals is the brand, and it's organic everyday detox. So the actual flavor, so they say, of this is, I'm probably butchering this, Shashandra berry. So it looks pretty much like a raspberry. Not. Right, but look at this one on the back. It actually almost looks like a raspberry.
So it's in the right family?
In the same family. But hey, so I would say you were pretty close.
Yeah.
And it really does taste like a berry. Yeah. And I feel like this is something I could probably only drink 1 cup of a day because it does have that sweetness to it.
Oh, that was close.
I know, it scared me.
Well, so what was the brand of that?
Traditional Medicinals. So for all the viewers out there, that are looking for a berry tea that is supposed to be a nice light detox for you, I would suggest this. If you either go to their website, Traditional Medicinals, because they have a bunch of different flavors, categories you can buy. I would suggest going to their actual website, not ordering it on Amazon, because you can put in our promo code and get 20% off. Amanda, what's that promo code one more time?
It's going to be Helloha20, and that's going to be in all caps. So Helloha20. If I knew how to edit things, I would probably have it like right here flashing, like the website. But maybe in a few episodes we'll get that under control. Anyway, back to us. So whatever, we go have this mac and cheese. We just think it's a funny story. That's why we talk about it. My dad measures out the 4th cup milk. You can't, there's no free-for-alls in the other A. Varner household. Like, you got to measure that out. The butter needs to be precise or it's not going to turn out right. So
learn the hard way.
The hard way, yeah. So
for how many years was I missing out on having
It makes a difference. People don't knock it till you try it. From there though, I feel like it was already close to like graduation.
Yeah.
Then we
Oh, I would say really quickly, we implemented some different things that caught on to like the whole class. Like we decided it was the two of us that decided on um business,
business.
right? Was it business Thursdays? Business
Yeah.
Thursdays. So everyone in the class like dressed up in business attire. We'll roll the tape.
Roll
Eventually
the
of
footage. I
the
feel like Miss
photo of
Gurlick,
everyone in class.
the art teacher, I remember she made a comment to you like, "Oh, you kids look so nice. I love when you dress up for this." And we're like, "We're being noticed. This is great."
Yeah. So it really did catch on. Even like people that you wouldn't assume that would get dressed up did get dressed up.
There were some surprises in there.
So after that, kind of, we had fun throughout high school, end of year, graduated, and then hung out all throughout the summers. And then that's whenever we started hanging out. Like Cecilia hung out with us too. And we became like a trio, I guess you could say, to an
Like
extent.
non-stop hanging out, and that's started like our Scrap Princess release where we would film these funny music videos. I think they're still hilarious and great.
Yeah. We'll link some of those for you guys to check out.
That's something great to talk about with all your friends, I'm sure. So, then what? So we went to college. We went to different colleges. There were a few times where like we would visit each other if we weren't home. We went home a lot.
One time we went to Italy. No, twice we went to Italy together.
On the weekend. Quick trip. It's affordable. You just have to know where to look. So we did that. Then, I don't know, nothing really too crazy to talk about. But
summers together, walking to the incline, getting those fruities.
Oh, roll the footage again. We got pictures from that.
Remember that
Nastasia?
Nastasia at when she was walking that dog?
Yeah, I don't know whose dog that was. Was it hers?
Random photo shoot with her and the dog.
Yeah, that was good. We need those in there. But then, I graduated and I moved to Pittsburgh for my first full-time job.
And then I graduated a few months later, and then my parents let me move to Pittsburgh to find a job only because Amanda lived there and they knew that she would look out for me.
It was a safe environment that I was close enough. Even though I was
there, it was okay. Basically, my twin sister.
We look identical. It's hard to tell apart, especially when we get closer. Like, who's who?
Who is who?
I can't figure it out. I think I'm looking at the wrong screen. But
okay.
So, yeah, she moved out. We had some fun at each other's apartments. My Squirrel Hill apartment was like super hot because I couldn't control the heat. So we had a sleepover. Aubrey didn't listen to me. She wore sweatpants to bed. It was a mistake. We had good times at
Tara, if you're watching, wasn't that your roommate?
Yeah, Tara. You had some good times at your apartment, like, hey, Melissa.
Oh,
We can. That's a whole other episode.
Yeah, calling off work.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh, Sharp Edge. Oh, and then I remember we would order Minio's pizza. Did we ask for delivery whenever I lived a 5-second walk?
But then we had to end up getting it, I remember. And then we were so hungry from the journey up the steep hill that we ended up burning the roofs of our mouths because we were so hungry. Then we went to that ice cream shop. We got a free sample because if anyone here knows Aubrey, she can talk her way through getting something for free out of anyone. So that's the real deal. Make friends with everyone everywhere. We got some free ice cream. We'll have to like get their name out there, the credit they deserve. It's a good ice cream spot in Pittsburgh. But we then actually ended up working in the same building. There
Down
was
Pittsburgh, yeah.
yeah,
That's
had
where the
some
the bus.
lunches outside. We did have a falling out, which whatever. I feel like so many of us, especially like we're almost 30 at this point, which sounds really weird.
Scary.
I feel like a lot of friendships go through that, but she ended up moving from Pittsburgh. And how long have you been where you are at right now?
April will be 2 years.
Oh God.
I know. Like, where'd the time go?
That's insane. So she moved. Then, of course, we're in this pandemic and everyone's home. They can't do anything. And like, we would keep in touch a little bit, but not really.
Yeah.
And then,
like a couple times, like within the last few months, like I've reached out with like thing like
heavier
that happened in our lives that it's like she's the person that I'd like to tell that I can like be myself around and like just honestly talk and like not be afraid to say whatever. So Amanda was a great friend through that, and then we just started talking a little bit more and I found myself laughing more, like cracking up, like where
the vein in the throat.
Like, like what is so funny? Like I'll be like 3 rooms over, like, what are you laughing at? I'm like, just Amanda. Like how many times was I asked that in the past couple, like the last like month or two? And I'm like, Amanda.
Why'd you even ask?
And then it got to the point where I'm like, don't even ask.
Yeah, just don't. That's enough. So she was like, basically, like, we think we're hilarious. We know we're not everyone's cup of tea. Helloha 20 for that code. But we're like, God, like, again, we think we're born entertainers. We just were never picked up by Hollywood yet. So we're like, why? We need to be recorded. Like, this is hilarious to us. If it flops, at least we can. So Aubrey's like, we need to make a podcast. I'm like, okay, well, I actually never watched or listened to one before. And she's like, yeah, me either. So I'm like, all right, so we're basically going to do something. We have no idea what like the layout is. But I think it's working. Like I've watched stuff like this on YouTube all the time that I probably am not even really interested. It just shows like in the related where it's like, hey, you should watch this. All right, I'll watch it. I end up cracking up. So hopefully we can be like that. But basically here we are now.
Yeah, that's how we got where we are. Yeah, I guess it is time-ish. Yep. So it's kind of a little bit about us, like in a nutshell. The relationship, the A. Varner relationship, essentially how we came to be. But so our next episode is going to be set to air on.
Oh, another thing that was in the care package, our matching
calendars.
Target, both of these things, right?
Yeah. This was in the Bullseye Playground for $1.
$1, people.
Shout out.
Target. I don't think they probably shouldn't be saying this, but they didn't reply with our promo code if it was official yet or not. That'll be another episode. We might need to edit this out.
Yeah.
But Target for all the good finds. But our first episode, you want to talk about that?
Tuesday, March 30th, so 2 weeks from the official air date of March 16th. We'll tell you really quick. We decided on Tuesdays as a day of the week to drop this because, honestly, we know we're not going to compete on a weekend. Obviously, people are doing their own thing. Mondays, like you're getting into the week. What do we say? Yeah. And then Tuesday is just kind of like what goes on Tuesday?
like, oh God, well, at least it's not Monday anymore. I feel like Tuesdays, personally, work-wise, are like worse than Mondays because people are like already answered all their weekend emails. It's a bunch of crap. Tuesdays aren't that great. Wednesday, you have hump day. Thursday, it's like, oh, it's almost the weekend. Now, basically, like it is, especially in a pandemic. Friday, we're already in the weekend. We're not
It's
there.
not going to happen.
No.
And we
So
understand.
they'll pick me up.
So that's why we wanted to make it as easy for you guys, maybe get you a little excited. Yes, it's Tuesday. Now we have something to celebrate.
Yes.
So right now we're going to stick with Tuesdays. And we're excited about our very first special guest. She's one of my friends that I met at the Westin working. She's just a great person. She is now a mother of two. I'm going to talk about how, like, not dealing with, but like what that was like becoming a new mom during the pandemic. And then also a little bit about her business that she runs, her small business. She does a little bit of everything. She's very creative. I don't want to give anything away. We most likely will be wearing some of her merch. And we're excited to also offer a little promo because we know you're going to get really excited. You're going to want some of the stuff for yourself. So we're really excited to bring her on and just get her perspective on some things.
I didn't actually even speak to her yet, but like the support that she, like, Aubrey's relaying, like, thank you. I'm going to look at the camera. Thank you. Because it's genuine and like you can just pick it up even if you're not in person. So we're very thankful, Allie, for your support and your excitement. And I can't wait to start filming with you and maybe have her reoccurring on the show if you guys love her merchandise.
Oh,
But that's what's coming up next. And
pipeline.
Coming down the pipeline, high level. What are some other like businessy corporate terms? I feel like everyone makes fun of them now. It's trendy. Coming down the pipeline. Everyone loves talking about having anxiety in the workplace, thinking you're going to get fired. I'm going to do a whole episode on that. Well,
I mean, the day that I feel like, who knows? You never know. You could get fired.
It can't.
Even though weirdly, actually, like the hard workers that would, innocent angels, like actually doing work on the job, where it's like, oh no. I opened my
funny how that works.
For 5 seconds just to see that something was shipped to the wrong address too soon. I did not schedule this FedEx delivery, so help me. That's another, that'll be featured on our home episode.
That's a super relatable. That'll definitely be an episode.
But yeah.
This is it, guys. This is what to expect.
This is us. This is who we are. We're not trying to sugarcoat it in any way. We will be our honest, truest selves, and we hope that you enjoy the content. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us some love, comment below, and also if you have any ideas for an upcoming episode, feel free to send us an email. That's hellohashow@gmail.com. You also see us on various social media platforms. We have an Instagram account. You see us on YouTube right now. Send us an email. Hit us up. We are very approachable.
Yes.
But so looking forward to the next episode and hearing from all of our great viewers.
Yes.
Thank you and Helloha.
Helloha.